Mr. Inch of Progress, what are you doing today? Well, I built this deck a couple of years ago, and so now it's in need of a new coat of staining. And so what I'm doing right here, this is just a dry rub process. So instead of taking a sander, a floor sander, and sanding off the surface, I've decided to go ahead and just really scrub brush the surface. And then what I'll do is take my blower and then blow the excess dust off of it. It's not a beat up deck. It doesn't need to be resanded. There's not a whole bunch of divots or cuts or scars on it. So a good dry rub, and then I'll blow it off with my blower and it'll be good. I want to get through this process because I'm excited today. I've got my #1 subscription channel fan. My #1 fan to Mr. Inch of Progress is here on site today, and she is going to help me finish off this deck. So it's always a good thing when your #1 fan to your channel comes out and helps you out. Let's get to scrubbing so we can get to finishing. So here we are in the stain layout process. Now we're using a 1-inch nap roller here, and it looks fairly simple. You know, you dip it in the bucket and you roll it out, but you kind of have to use smooth, long strokes. What tends to happen is you'll get bubbles if you go too fast. And I learned a trick years ago laying out deck stain. When you get the bubbles, instead of getting a brush to lay them out, what I do is I take the blower, and as the roller person is rolling, I take the blower and go on top with the blower, and the air kind of breaks the bubbles and lays out the stain flat when you have bubbles. And what happens is with the bubbles, you tend to get what's called a stippling effect, where it looks like some type of texture that's on your deck, and you really don't want that. You want everything laid out smooth, and you don't want any type of texturing look. So the tip I learned to use with the blower really helps out, and it eliminates all of those things that can cause the texturing effect. All right, so things are going good. The stain is going great. I've got the #1 fan of my channel here helping me out, and we're going to go ahead and complete this deck staining.
A lot of speed. Everything they do is on.
Now that we've laid out all 500 square feet of deck, what I'm doing here is I'm taking a brush and I'm going along the stair edges. If I use the roller at this point, what's going to happen is all of the excess stain will run down the side of the stairs, and then I'll have to repaint the front of the stairs or the face of the stairs. And I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that I can hit this job and complete this job and not have to come back and create another job. So that's what I'm doing. When you saw me down there on my knees, that's what you saw me doing with the paintbrush, just painting the front edge of the deck. And then after I get the front edges painted, I'll come back across with the roller and do the top, and then I'll be finished. So remember, if I can do this in the course of a weekend, so can you. Mr. Inch of Progress. Thank you.